Yes. Yes. Good. One. Yes. Good job. One. Good job. One. 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 Yes. Put your hand. Jump. Yeah. Put your hand.
Excellent. What I want to have for dinner? Butter chicken, roti, and. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good
Hello.
morning, everybody, and welcome to an Ode to ABoDE. This is assessing boundaries of diversity and equity. As you would have seen in the intro, we have these amazing speakers here who have shared a little bit of their journey in a visual form. So, what are we going to do today? It is just another day in their lives. There is no such thing as a special day for anything because yesterday was Down Syndrome Day. Soon, April 2nd will be uh,
Autism.
endorsed as Autism Day. And we have all these various days which come. But for a mother, a facilitator, a person in this premise, every day is the same. Every day brings hope, every day brings progress. And here I'm going to invite my wonderful speakers for the day. And we have here Rahat. Hello, Rahat, welcome. She's an
Hello.
advocate for inclusion. I have Archana here, who's an educator, volunteer. And we have Vishaka, a clinical specialist, Mind Path UAE. They have very kindly consented to give me their time today in this morning to bring more hope, bring more light, and talk about inclusion. Thank you very much, ladies. Welcome here. Say a big
Thank
hi
you.
to our audience.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello, hello, everybody. Let me start with you, Rahat. Please give me a little bit background about yourself. And was the roti chicken curd from your home? Was it your?
Yeah. My son.
Yeah, please share a little bit about yourself, your son, and your journey, please.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Rahat Naz, mother of Maher, Mohammed Maher, who is 27 years old. He was diagnosed with severe autism in the year 2001. 25 years back, he was diagnosed with severe autism. And then my journey started from there. So, it was very difficult to accept what was happening to Mahir. I was not aware of this word. I had not heard in my entire life about autism. But in a very early stage, I took a decision. My doctor told me, like, your son has been diagnosed with autism. Rahat, you have to like make a decision. You want him to be with you or in a shelter home. I told her, I want my son to be with me in the society with the people. So she said, you have to work very hard. So my journey started. I took a very strong decision to start a journey with hope. I believed in my son, I believed in myself, and we decided my husband was the only sole breadwinner. So we decided I live back home in Bangalore, and my husband was in Dubai. So we couldn't afford therapy in Dubai. So I just shifted myself to Bangalore. So like my journey started there, and I'm very thankful to the therapists, the people who helped me. I just would like to highlight what was Maher. Maher was a child with severe autism with all the behavior issues. No eye contact, aloof, lot of behavior, hitting, running, you name it, everything was there. Non-verbal, and he couldn't respond to his name, couldn't turn. He did not able to tell what he been like. His difficulties were so like, I mean, I just can't. The journey was like, Mahir was
Thank
like, he did not aware of this whole world. The only hope was me for him to change his life. So when my journey started, I started giving him 6 hour therapy every day, and I used to work at home for 1 hour with him. So slowly I started improvements in him. Like he started sitting, and then his first word came out from his mouth, mango, mango. And then we started working on the OT. So
thank
he had a eating disorder, sleeping disorder, everything. Now
yeah,
the
thank you,
autism
thank you,
started.
Rahat. Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you here a bit because I first want to
Yeah,
congratulate you and appreciate that moms can work miracles. And
yeah,
you have just said that yesterday we were celebrating Mother's Day.
yeah,
And I want to say this, that you've been a very powerful mother. The information which you are sharing with us is so precious. I want to take a little time to break it down into slower, smaller bits for our
yeah,
audience to understand. And we have live audience here. There
yeah,
are more than 8 people, and those who are going to watch us later, I want them also to understand in bits and pieces. And ultimately, our question is going to be as how we can support. What can the people who are not understanding this? What can they do about it? So please just hold your thoughts a little bit for me. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to ask Archana. Archana, if I may have your attention, please, and if you could unmute yourself and share a little bit about the journey of your own personal journey and about you're an educator volunteer. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I would really like to take this opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sambhavi, Vishaka, and Rahat. So, I'm mom of Meher. As name says, his blessing in our life. He's born here just like every other child, and he was very cute, smart, everything which I could never hear for myself, for my elder children, but for him. So, he made me feel special right from the beginning. So we got to diagnose him at the age of 3 as ASD. We went back to India and the journey begins and the new whole spectrum opened for me. Along with his diagnosis, I learned each and everything and it was not that tough as I can hear from Rahat's life. Yeah, it was very easy and I didn't knew what is a word seizure, what is the word autism. I didn't knew. I couldn't even pronounce it well. But yes, this blessing came to me and it really made me an educator. It opened a whole path to get a new learning for myself personally, as a mom for the family, and also how to raise a child like him. So we begin with our therapies, and in India, being from the Marwari family in Rajasthan, it's not that easy to go against whatever the practice we are doing so far, which we say normal. Irrelevant of healthy or not healthy, but it's normal to eat wheat. It's normal to give milk to a child. And then my story and my journey begins from there, right from the first step to say no to wheat and to explain how does not giving food will treat your child. You are depriving, you are this and that. Beating all those odds, like though there are challenges are less in Meher, but these were the biggest challenges for me to
Right,
start my journey. So
right.
God has been very
Yeah.
kind to me. He got me people like you and his therapist in India, and we are here right now. He's verbal, he's expressing, and now we are moving forward to get him more and more developed and socialized.
Right. So you have just opened a Pandora's box for the socio-cultural challenges which we face, and we will come to that, and I'll come back to you again in that. I would like to take a few minutes and acknowledge Vishaka. Vishaka, thank you so much for being here. You're a clinical specialist, Mind Path UAE, and I know that you've worked in NHS for
That's correct.
12 years or so. So
Yeah.
I want you to explain a little bit about your personal journey, but I also want you to emphasize on uh, being in Dubai and from NHS. What are the things which you find common, and what are the
Sure.
things which are different? We have audience here who's watching us and they have commenting. Please continue to comment. I will actually highlight the comments and we'll acknowledge them in just a bit as soon as Vishaka's introduction session is done. So please, Vishaka, can you go ahead and share
Uh,
your journey and the NHS path, please?
Absolutely. And thank you very much for inviting me today, Dr. Shambhavi. It's an honor to be on your show. So, like you said, my name's Vishaka, and I was a clinical nurse specialist in the UK. And as you know, the system in the UK is very different from the UAE. So, it was something for me to really get used to. I'm actually specialise in mental health and learning disabilities. So whilst I've worked with people from birth to death, I work with children primarily and families, but I do offer services here in the UAE for adults and organisations to do what we're doing here, to have this conversation, to start raising awareness of people of determination. So, in terms of your question about the differences, I think one of the things that I've noticed about the UAE, and this might sound a bit controversial, but I'm sure the other ladies will be nodding their head, is that as much as the UAE is very advanced in a lot of its practices, it's still quite behind the Western world. I think one of the things, and this is going back to what Archana said, was about the stigma associated with diagnosis and difficulties. I think that part of my work here has evolved actually. When I came here, I thought I was going to be stepping into something very similar to the UK, where people had an awareness of what autism, ADHD was, what is a learning disability, what is a global developmental delay. But I've come here and I've recognized that actually there's a desperate need for psychoeducation, for destigmatizing these diagnoses, because the alternative is that if we don't give children the label or the diagnosis that they need to advance in life, they're mislabeled as being unintelligent, as being slow, as being the things that they're not. They need the support to be able to thrive, and the only way they can get the support is with the diagnosis. So part of my work here has been about raising awareness and destigmatizing these things, but trying to marry up the cultural needs as well, because that's equally as important. But that is not a problem in the UK, or not as much of a widespread problem. So for me, it's been a bit of a shift to move from there to here. So that's been quite, yeah, it's been a bit of a wake-up call, I'll be honest.
Right. So I will come back to you about the cultural issues because that is something which I think could be different. But in the meantime, let me first start with acknowledging the comments which we have from people who are watching us live. Rosh Ajit says hello. Please, folks who know her, know Rosh, please go ahead and say hello. And then we have Banu Balaji saying, I cannot stress enough on the power of home-based programs. As an OT, my goal is always to have parents understand why and what I'm doing so they can be their child's best advocate. That is so precious information which you're sharing, and which I think is what everybody wants to know: where to go, what to do. You're doing an amazing job, Rahat. So Rahat, great appreciation for you here.
Thank you.
We have Bite, and this is probably Nisha. Nisha, thank you so much, because you're the one who first I brainstormed with for an ode to ABoDE, and this is like an ode, a poetry, a writing, or whatever you call this, is an ode to assessing boundaries of diversity and equity. Thank you so much, Nisha. And we have Roshni Ajit saying, Rahat and Archana, both of you are an inspiration to people. And yes, I am inspired by the wonderful, resilient mothers and fathers and family together. So I cannot emphasize enough that how it is so gratifying to meet people, and the support system which we have, friends, family, those are the things which make a lot of difference to everyone, and in particular in case where we have resilient mothers like this. I know Archana is towards my hair, she is surely a life educator. Very wonderful words for you, Archana. I hope this is making your day special. Rahat, I would like to come back to you and ask you. You said you moved from here to Bangalore, and
Yeah.
you were because of affordability of therapy. But we are also talking about a time when this whole issues or challenges around this were not so popular or not so well known in anywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
including UAE, correct? So
yeah.
tell me about it. What are the changes that you've seen in India in here, apart from the affordability factor? And I will come to more of the affordability in just a bit. But please, if I can have your viewpoint more on,
You want me to
difference.
compare the previous to the
Yeah.
present awareness?
Yes, please. Yes. Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit about
previously
it.
nobody, even I was, no, I had not heard about autism ever in my family, or nobody knew about autism. They used to tell him he's mentally retarded whenever they used to see him back Bangalore or here. He's completely mentally retarded. So now the people, they are aware he special needs, and there's a lot of resources. Those days there was no internet, there was no resources. You have to, like, even the work we did was all physical, cutting pictures, taking photographs. Now you just Google it, you get everything.
Yes. Correct. Yes. So
Yeah,
that is
and explaining people was a great challenge for me. So many
Yes.
of the people they used to tell me he's mentally retarded, leave it, he will grow. Why you're wasting time going to therapy whole day? But I was very firm in my heart. I will do it for him. Sambhavi, you will not believe he's ready for the job. Next 3 months, he's going into the job, and he's completely independent, self-help wise, self-help skills wise. So that is
Wonderful.
the proudest moment in my life. So whenever I go back home, my first therapist, Vanita Rao, she just when she sees Maher, she said, "Rahat, miracles do happen." That is what I would like to tell all the parents: not to leave your dreams, believe in your child, believe in yourself. There is no shortcut. It is only therapy, 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 and consistency. And believe in your child and believe in yourself. God is there. He will help you out. Once you achieve one target, you will have the greediness to do and do with passion. And what my belief is, this teaching is not only on the tabletop. You just involve him in everyday life of your activities, cooking, folding clothes, going out, shopping, everywhere the therapy is happening.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Rahat. And Archana, one of the things which you said, and Rahat also did, was acceptance. Yeah, first by the parent, the acceptance, and then the socio-cultural acceptance. And like Rahat, you also mentioned that, eating. Well, tell us a little bit more about that as well, and share with us a little bit more on how did you cope with these? What was the support that you got from family? Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, actually, I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. I have a very good
Sorry,
family.
yeah. Rahat, I'm asking Archana, if you don't mind, I'll just come back to you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Archana.
Rahul, I want to hear from you a lot and a lot. Here, I would like to add you something regarding this. The from where I can I get the question repeated, please?
Yeah, I wanted you to say, you mentioned about the social, the cultural problems, food problems. How did you manage to navigate those and keep your spirits high and your belief strong? How did you manage to do that?
Yes, yes. I will say I was very obedient child. I have been asked to do this. I would switch my way and I will do this. But as I said, these children are blessing to us. They want us to be what we are meant to be. So I was meant to be free. I was meant to be lead my way. I was meant to be like show that I'm an educator. So it's really I will say it's a blessing. It opened different channels for me, spiritual,
Very
learning,
nice.
academics. It opened whole new life to me. We say it's spectrum, it opened whole new spectrum to me. I learned about what is autism, I learned about what is ASD and all that stuff, and I also learned how to deal it with. So God is really giving me power for that unknowingly, I will say.
Very,
Being as
very
very
wonderful.
sensitive and the youngest in my family, I was not at all able and capable to take my own decision, always relying on others. But my son made me the person today I am. He made me choose a path. He made me to decide what is good for him. So this is an external blessing I'm getting from the God to choose what is needed for him, and it will fall right. You just need to
Absolutely.
walk what you see, and you just need to believe what is right for them. Try, test, and repeat.
Wonderful. Try, test, and repeat. Very nice. Thank you. We have here some comments, which is from Byte. Nisha, absolutely. It's both set of parents and extended families and friends that make the journey easier. Roshni goes on to say, I feel social acceptance is one of the biggest challenges for families. Are there any mentorship opportunities in place for the kids here? We will ask more, and maybe there are people who are watching this now or later. Please feel free to continue the comments and answer questions here. So proud of you, Rahat. You stood by us when the entire world was against it. Yes, everything you do with them is therapy. They learn nuances of independent living through these. And hats off to your spirit, Rahat. Archana is a hands-on mother, is what is coming from Nisha from Byte Inclusive Affairs. Thank you so very much, ladies. And thank you for the folks who are putting in these comments here. It's really much appreciated. And I'm going to take the conversation to Vishaka now. Vishaka, I would like to know from you, uh, if you mentioned that in UK it was not much of a problem, but it is more of a challenge here. And but what I would like to say is that UK is a more homogeneous kind of a scenario, whereas here in the UAE we are a melting pot of people, 200 nationalities. So we live with each other in very with great happiness, with great tolerance. And for me, who had come from India, I found that UAE had actually more places which were accessible, people who had challenges where you could see them. Whereas I know very well that mostly in India they would be at home. Now we see more of them because now there are more accessibility people who are doing a lot towards accessibility. So tell me about this now that. Now look, if you look at UK now there is more heterogeneous crowd than what was there. What do you think, how is the scenario there now? And then what can we take to UK from UAE? What do you think you would like to convey back to the people out
I
there?
think the first thing, I think going back to one of the comments in the in the chat about community-based programs, I think the thing that changed in the UK was back in the 1990s, they moved from a hospital model where they kept people with learning disabilities or people with autism or neurodevelopmental disorders in hospitals or in homes, and they moved that support to the community in smaller homes, and they were more visible. I think that's what started to break down. And this is where the UAE is at now, I believe. So I'm in 100% agreement with you that compared to India, for example, there is more advances in UAE. But compared to the UK, I still feel that there is some lagging in terms of understanding of the condition. And I do think that that's because of the medical model here. But actually, the UK adopts a community style of treatment. So as nurses, we would go to people's homes to provide treatment. OTs would go to people's homes, speech and language would go in people's homes, into the schools. And the reason that that's important is because if the behaviours and the presentation of children, we know that children with autism, for example, do respond to their environment. So if a child is going to an office, for example, or going to a clinic, they're less likely to behave in the way that they would naturally do unless they were in their home. They're also more likely to trust the clinician if the parent is inviting them into their own home. So I feel that that was the thing that was different in the UK that's here. There are community-based programs here, and I'm not saying that there isn't, but it's not the norm, is in my experience. So I think that that is something that where MindPath, this is my company, we actually provide all of our services in people's homes, in their schools, in their workplaces. We meet them out where they are. We live with them because it's important for us to understand what they're going through. And just like Archana said, you have to try everything for something to, not everything's going to be a right fit for everybody. And I do believe that UAE is really supportive, especially the government, especially with the new initiatives that are coming out for inclusion. They are looking to include people. They are looking at making sure that children with autism are included. We know that, for example, Abu Dhabi Airport has started this new program where they have spaces for children with autism. So the beautiful thing about coming to the UAE and starting a business like mine is that people are responsive. They want to listen. They want to learn. And so that's what makes the difference. I think in the UK, people already know, mostly. I'm not going to say everybody, they mostly know. In India, maybe they're not quite ready to learn yet, or maybe they are at the starting stage. The UAE is in that beautiful sweet spot where people are ready to listen to us. And that is the best place for all of us to be in, whether we're advocates or educators or we have businesses here.
So on the topic of India, there are a lot of things which have been done. And then again, it is internet and technology which has brought this information to each other that there are things which are being done because there have been schools, there have been communities, there have been residential homes, and there's a lot of things which has been happening. Like, for example, when Rahat says, but it was, she attributes a bit of it to luck that she went there, she found the person and she was able to do because information itself was so kind of we were lacking in the transparency. So and also knowing from my background, and now the challenges were on accessibility, which are also now being taken care of by many people. So we hope to see again the density, the population of there. And then this brings me to the question of affordability, which I will just ask you in a bit as soon as I finish sharing these comments, which are here. Rahat, you're an inspiration. Can you tell your journey in accepting and growing? We'll do this a little later, Rahat. Because hi Rahat, could you give some tips on being strong and resilient as a mother? Azam and Samina, I really appreciate your comments and the fact that we are looking at Rahat for inspiration, for motivation. But please, because of lack of time, we are already 24 minutes into our session. I want to ask an important question, which is equally applicable to everybody. Let's talk about affordability, Rahat. And you started the conversation today with affordability. Vishaka also says that they have services which are, but when it comes to affordability, do companies actually provide any additional benefits, whether it's in terms of insurance, whether it is in terms of therapy money, whether it is in terms of time off for parents? Is there any such provision which is available here or anywhere in the world that you've heard of? I would love to get your input on this, Rahat, Archana, and Vishaka. Can we start with you, Rahat? Please share
Yeah,
a little
actually,
bit.
like those days, it was not there. Like 24 years back when Maher was diagnosed, so like they were, but now like there's a lot of change I see in UAE. But my foundation work was done in Bangalore. I'm very grateful. I found gems in Bangalore. They worked with me, and the foundation was led in Bangalore. I'm
Yes.
proud I
Okay.
belong to that place. I'm proud of the people. I belong to that
Wonderful.
place. I got that foundation for my son, my family, my workers, my doctors. They were like my family. Even today, when I just a call away, they are there for me. And I equally respect what Dubai UAE is affirming, giving us
Yes.
acceptance in the airports. It was a nightmare to travel in the airport with Maher. Now it is like I have confidence I can go.
Right.
So
Thank
this
you.
together,
Thank you for,
but one thing
yeah.
I would like to tell, in India, there's no fancy presentation, but the
Yes.
quality you get in therapies, that is, it goes to the heart.
Yes.
Because I have worked 10 years with them.
Right. Right.
It is
Thank
not
you.
fancy.
Thank you.
The quality, the people,
Yes.
the touch with the people, the warmth and the thing you get, but you need to work. You just can't depend on them. You have to
Right.
take it as passion. I have to change it. I have to do it. You have to do it. Just
Right.
doing school and depending on them, this will not change.
Right.
You have to
Thank
take it.
you.
I will change
Yeah.
him. I will change him.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Rahat. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. And actually, I think I just need to call you back alone when we can have a session with all these queries which you need to answer. Thank you so much, people who are asking us all these, because again, there is Noor into how Mahir from the initial challenging to job placement, commendable, great work. This is Noor Aisha saying, Archana, what is your take on this, the affordability factor and the overall thing? Please share a little bit your viewpoint on this.
Yeah, so as a family, we were just landed here in UAE. We gave birth to Meher, and then it was like, let the child grow, we both will be working, and things will go around peacefully. So affordability during those days not possible here for us because it's way expensive than comparatively India. So we had only one option: go back to India. Now India is big place, big people. We'll get diverse people, we'll get professional peoples, we'll get looter peoples, we'll get good people with less presentation, as Rahat said. So I am blessed. I got the people and I stick to them and I got the result out of them. India is definitely place with affordabilities. There we just need to be kind and relying on the God to get the best opportunity. And
Right.
also, gut feeling matters a lot. I have been told for Meher during the earlier diagnosis of ASD that he is partial deaf, he is half deaf, he is full deaf in 1 year, and then the fourth result shows 100% clear. He's 100% hearing. So then the next step started. Now, what to get more? So several therapies we need to have, which in India we can find if we are lucky enough and if we are trying enough. Here now we can still find better option now. During
Yeah.
those, it was not like I was not capable to find out the stuff, and also we needed immediate resolution, which is affordable for us. So we just went back to India, and India have been kind, and I have been lucky that I got the right people. They are still with me. Might be they are watching us also.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. We have here a few more comments. Raja, please send a heart out. Thank you so much. Much needed. Rahat, keep up the good work. Farana says, and there is Pinky Bedi. Lot of awareness will be raised around learning disability right across the globe. And just now, Archana was speaking about the learning disabilities. This forum and new initiative is positive one and good to get people talking. Thank you so much, Pinky Bedi, for your input. And I just want to submit this very kindly that for people living in India, also the cost of treatment and all these therapies is expensive. I think because we were lucky that we were here, the money, the income, the earning was here, which got translated there.
Yeah, yeah.
That I think would have been a kind of an added benefit and a blessing. So
Yes.
we need to acknowledge that as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Vishaka, I would like to have your input
Yeah,
on the affordability part of it.
sure.
Please
So
share a bit.
I personally, so when I came from the UK, I did a lot of research in terms of what I should charge. And I think one of the things that I kept seeing repeatedly on Facebook was how people were saying how, like, does anyone know a cost effective therapist, a cost effective this, a cost, and it was making me wonder, prices aren't published here. People don't tell you, they're not forthcoming with what they charge. I made sure that when I started that my prices were published, they were affordable, they made sense, but also on top of that, having umbrella services. So rather than parents having to go to one individual speech and language therapist, one OT, I have enough training in all areas of behaviour support that I can offer an umbrella service to people unless they need advanced support. So that reduces the cost. I pride myself on being one of the more cost effective. And I think the reason why is not just because I need to pay my bills, I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, it needs to be accessible. What is the point in offering services if they're unreachable? And most of the people, we know that learning disability, we know that autism occurs in lower socioeconomic backgrounds. So those people need to be able to access services as well. In terms of insurance here, we know that they're limited in terms of what they offer, and the insurance itself becomes very expensive. So there is a niche and gap in the market here for people like me who are coming in, bringing affordable options, which are umbrella services to people, and breaking that gap down of, rather than going to 3 different therapists, being multi-skilled and being able to offer multiple services under one roof. And I think that's the solution here, that services need to be more accessible.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that input. And I hope the people who are policymakers, who are insurance companies are listening to this, and they are going to acknowledge this and take care of this. India and other countries' services need to be developed to cater for individuals, more importantly, raise awareness of general public. Thank you so much, Pinky, for finding the time and coming on here. And yes, I have Roshni here saying thanks to you, Dr. Shambhavi, for providing this platform. And I want to say this to Roshni and to everybody who's watching this now or going to watch it later. It's hum hai because tum log ho. If you are there, you're able to come and talk here. You're able to give me that time and share your thoughts. Be open about these conversations is why an ode to ABoDE is actually happening. Otherwise, alone by myself, I could not have done anything. It's these conversations which we are having and which we continue to have, the support which I receive, whether it's from Nisha, whether it's from Maitri, all these groups who are ready to come and talk, and from individuals who are in a group together for the cause of what we can do for inclusion and how can we help change those behavior patterns, help create some kind of impact. So positive discussion content. Thank you so much. And we are already 33 minutes into the session. So I'm going to say a quick bye to all of you. Any last one word that you want to say, a sentence? Now, let's start with Rahat. Rahat.
Yeah, I would like to thank the government of Dubai for giving our children opportunity for work and giving us government hospital insurance and accepting us in the society. Everything is like all the rides and everything are free, and even like I can walk freely. The people will accept me, even they I am the priority is given to us. Thank you for that. I'm so blessed we are in this place.
Yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely.
my family and everyone who has helped in this journey. And I'm proud to be Mahesh mom. And he has made me a better person. He's made me a better person. And I'm so proud I'm shaping somebody's life. So,
Right.
like, when I look back, I
Right.
don't regret like what I lived in 10 years away from my husband. But
Yes.
Maher is my companion, my shadow, my friend. He's everything to me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rahat. Thank you so much for sharing those emotions. And Rahat, I find family judging children with autism, how to deal with harsh looks and comments. Sadat, Unnisa, please forgive me because of the time constraint today, but I'm going to probably call Rahat back again, or maybe we'll come meeting in a face-to-face scenario somewhere where all of you can join us and we can have a discussion on this, and maybe make it into a consistent thing as to how Rahat can actually support you, because her journey has truly been miraculous and it is a motivator for everyone. And we need to find some guidance, some inspiration, and maybe Rahat will write a book. Who knows, Rahat? For all you know, we may have a book next
Actually,
year which we'll be
somebody
discussing.
Maher is
Yeah,
completely self-help skills are achieved and he's completely independent. In
yeah.
fact, he
Thank
helps me
you.
in all the household chorus.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rahat. Archana, very
From
quickly, any
yeah,
last
yeah.
comments from your side? Yeah, Archana.
I completely agree with Rahat, what she said, and we are really blessed and proud to be
Yeah.
here. Here we get everything helpful which we do not get in India, irrespective of family and being
Yeah.
cost effective. This space is really helping our
Yeah.
children and help us in all the ways, whether it be infrastructure, little bit here and there in the charges of therapies, but the
But
overall living is valued
right.
here.
Thank
And
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Archana. Yeah,
last
you
word
want
I
to say
will
something?
add,
Yes, last
last
word.
word, that stay positive and keep doing. This is the mantra
Wonderful.
for the moms.
Wonderful.
miracle
Vishakha.
happen.
Thank
Yeah,
you. So, if,
Vishakha.
if there are any parents out there that need any support around their behaviour and are looking for any kind of affordable therapy, please do contact me. We offer
Yes.
bespoke services for parents that are affordable outside of their insurance. So, please do get in
Wonderful.
touch and let's continue to
Yeah.
work together and let's continue
Yes.
having these forums. And thank you again, Dr. Shambhavi. I really do appreciate the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you so much. And you can post your links later on into the streams wherever they are. And people know they've seen you now and they follow you and they will know
Sure.
where they can access you. And with this, I also want to thank the government of UAE for
Yeah.
everything that they do for everybody. And I think in all this, safety,
Yeah.
security for us is has been a very very valuable point. And I wish to take use this opportunity to thank, like how you people have reminded me, that we live a safe life, we live a life which we can think about. And thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been here, who's watching now or watching later. We'll join you again in another episode of An Ode to Abode. Keep track, subscribe and like, and then you'll get notifications onto when the next session is. Thank you very much, ladies. Have a
Thank you so
wonderful day. And I'm
Thank
going
you.
to
Thank
end
you
this
so much.
session now.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Sambhavi.
Bye bye.